Hello, welcome to Loot Level Chat, the podcast from Loot Level Chill. I'm Mick, and I'm joined by Kieran Singh.
Hello.
Lyle Pendle.
Hello there.
And Stephen Mr. Chambers.
Hi.
That was very sexy.
I thought I'd give it a go for you.
It wasn't bad. It goes well with the beard. It would be better if you were wearing the geography teacher outfit and you said it like that. We'd have been all over it.
I'm back to normal me. Sorry to disappoint.
Yeah.
It would have been better if he'd had a sexy voice and was dressed as someone who educated children. That would have been good, would
it? Did you go to my school?
He could have been a teacher of an adult class. Nobody said he had to be.
Okay.
You'd never assume that though, would you? As soon as someone says teacher, you'd always think this guy's with kids.
I mean, are there very many adult geography classes?
I don't know. There must be. There must exist.
Not enough.
Not enough for your liking.
No, get more.
Steve would be teaching all of them.
You'd know all the rivers, counties off by heart, all sorts.
Amazing.
Cumulonimbus, I think, would be a thing involved. Not sure.
That's clouds. Is that to do with geography? Is that going?
I figure they're in geography classes, aren't they?
I don't know. Volcanoes.
Maybe, yeah.
Anyway, welcome to Loot Level Chat, the podcast from Loot Level Chill, where we talk about video games sometimes.
Yeah, and sometimes geography, and you just
sometimes geography or whatever. So we missed you last week. Hopefully you missed us. We weren't around. We didn't record last week for various reasons. Mainly, I was not feeling very well. Everyone else is lazy.
True.
So we're back today. So there'll be a normal pod this week. We'll do a bonus as well this week. So for the Patreons, they'll be back to hopefully regularly scheduled programming.
Yep.
And you'd think that being away last week, we'd have a big ton of games to talk about, but we haven't really. We're playing some stuff that's embargoed. Everybody's got stuff on the go, but there's not a great deal to talk about today. So we're going to talk about a couple of things that we have been playing, and it just so happens, that they're legacy sequels. And so we're going to have a chat about that, about some long-awaited sequels, and we'll just riff and see where we go. Because Lyle's been playing, and I think has everybody been playing, or Lyle and Steve?
I think it's just myself and Lil.
Super Meat Boy 3D.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've been playing Legacy of Kain Ascendance, which is pretty shit, but we'll discuss it in a bit.
Exciting that.
Spoiler alert.
Real
spoiler alert. It's bad. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about Super Meat Boy 3D because this is the first. I'm not going to put anybody on the spot and say how long has it been since the last Super Meat Boy game, but wasn't the last Super Meat Boy game shite?
It was the endless runner one. Super Meat Boy Forever.
And everyone sort of hate it a little bit.
Fine, it's okay as a mobile game, but
yeah, it was
like more than that.
4 years ago or something like that. There was also Dr. Fetus's mean bean machine, basically the one that was a sort of Puyo clone, but with more saw blades, and that also was a bit rubbish.
I understood some of those words.
Well, I tried to keep you on your toes.
I got saw blade and fetus out of it, but that was about all.
Perfect. That's all you needed, really, isn't it? Let's be real. But yeah, the actual last, I guess, strictly platforming where you have full control over the character was Super Meat Boy back in 2011, I want to say that I wrote in the review a few times, something like that. And yeah, now it is Meat Boy is back again, but this time there is a whole extra dimension, which means that you can move a bit forward and backwards into the background, like if you were really wondering, that is a big difference. And then the other
it's 2004.
Exactly, 100%. It's just like that. And the only other big difference is in the way you move around. You also have an air dash, basically, which really means you can get fucking all over the shop. And I mean, it controls really, really well in a similar way to how, the original Super Meat Boy controls really, really well. And anytime you die, you immediately restart within like a fraction of a fucking second, so that you don't get too annoyed and you just carry on playing forever until you actually beat the level, which sometimes will be in a long time.
Oh god, yeah.
How have you been finding it, Steve? Because I did big full review, and I don't actually know if I know you enjoyed the demo, but I don't know much more than that, so I'm sort of intrigued.
Yeah, I mean, I loved the original game. It's as
Yeah.
a precision platformer, it's up there as one of the all-time greats. I have mixed feelings on 3D.
There have been mixed feelings in general, and not from me. So I'm kind of, I want to hear more.
Well, one of those things is the air dash that you talked about. So that can have a tendency to trivialize some platforming situations.
Yeah, okay.
And takes away a little from the precision at times, but it is very fun. It's one of those things whereby so you can beat a level as per normal and just get to the end by getting to Bandage Girl. You can also do an A+ time, which will be beating it by a given set target, essentially. And you'll find yourself, I don't know how you gone, Lyle. Most of the time you'll be getting there. A few of them you get an A+ just naturally, but sometimes you'll find you're a good second, maybe 2 seconds off. You think, I can get there. And that's when you're pushing with the air dash, maybe trying to skip certain sections, get around those obstacles that are a pain in the arse, and losing you time, more importantly. So that's fun with it. But it lacks the precision a little bit for me. It is still very goddamn hard at times, that's for sure. Even when you can skip certain bits or get around them, there'll be bits that you just can't. It does rely on you taking precision jumps and getting the timing right and running through. And you'll find out if you are going for an A+ time, you can't afford any mistakes. You've got to be literally pinpoint perfect all the way through to get there. And it's a piss off when you're missing it by a quarter of a second or something. And it'll keep dragging you back. And that's what's good about it. Yeah, there's certain sections where, because you're in 3D, it's a little bit looser than it would be on a 2D platform.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I found sometimes that I've jumped for something and thinking, yeah, got it. And you miss it for whatever reason because you're either going forwards or backwards into that 3D of the level. So I've struggled a bit there. And I found that I think a lot of time, like, it doesn't feel like it's me always failing because I'm like, I've got that. And obviously you haven't. But it doesn't always feel like it's on me. It's like, that just didn't look right, essentially. And some of it is to do with, there's an option in there, I don't know if you noticed, where you can lock your sort of jump directions to 45 degrees.
Oh, no, I did not know that.
So you can change that about and give it fully freeform on a 360 around. I find that taking that off made it a bit more manageable and feel more like it should. And I think until I did that, I was getting quite frustrated because it was locking into a 45-degree angle that maybe I didn't quite want it to.
Yeah.
So it's very enjoyable. It's enough that I've gone through the first couple of worlds and A+ 95% of it, and then doing the Dark World is back again as well, which is a harder variant of each level. So you'll work through a world with 15 stages, and each time you A+ that level, you will go on to unlock the dark version of that level, which is it just jacked up to 1,000 and really will test you. And they are good fun. They are punishing, but they are so satisfying when you get them right.
Yeah.
So it's dragged me in enough that I've been going through and working away at those, and I do that stupid thing of refusing to move on until you've done those things, which is kind of horrible to yourself at times. You just want to get through and you can't. You're just like, right, keep battering your head against that wall for a while.
I don't have that, luckily.
No, I think you would fucking hate it, mate. To be honest, it would drive you insane. And it does mean that as someone who enjoys that kind of game, it still drives me mad after a while, after your 100th attempt in a row. And it might only be a 20, 25 second level, but you just keep going and going and going and going.
Those games where you need to get you get a 3-star rating or whatever. 1 star gets you through the level. That's me. I'm done. I'm happy. I'm
just moving on.
I move on.
I wish I had that in me. I have to keep going till it's done.
It takes a special kind of game to make me go back and redo something, especially if it's even slightly grueling. And I get through it and I'm like, phew, made it. I'm like, done now. I move on. And I get to the end and I'll leave like bronze and silver medals scattered all over the place, and I don't get
it gives you something else to go back to if you fancy in the future. Not that
I never do.
Time to, but, that's never going to happen.
I rarely play anything.
So for me, my expectations were I was hoping for a 9 out of 10 for me, and it's just not sitting that far. It's a 7.5, 8 in my head, and I think
I'm intrigued as to if the way I played it helped me a little bit in this regard as well, because I very much played through the game, and I think the parts of the game that I thought were the weaker parts and that I enjoyed the least, and that made me not be like, this is the most perfect 10 out of 10, like this is as good as Super Meat Boy, which would be a big statement. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, sure.
The reason it isn't quite like that for me was because I thought the first couple of worlds were a little bit easy. And I think because of that, and I mean easy to complete the level, not easy to get the time. Because I still haven't gone back to every single level. Like I picked and chose the ones that I was going to beat fast enough for.
Go for that A+.
Yeah, and if anything, I was doing the opposite, where I would say I'm going to try and find the bandage and complete the level. The other option, which is there is one hidden bit in this level, and if you get it, then you'll start to unlock different characters and stuff like that. It's the one collectible, so I'd go for that instead of the time initially and sort of immediately. And I think as you progress into the game, I don't think you really get quite the same level of like you have options to air dash out of the way of these obstacles by world 4. You're like, no, there's a way to beat this level, you've got to fucking do it, and that's that. You know what I mean? So I'd be intrigued to see how you find it as you progress, but I also don't know if when you get to those levels and you're also chasing that time, if that's going to be more painful, and that's exciting.
It definitely sounds like it's gonna be, because there has been some horribly painful moments going through Dark World levels and just just falling shy of it each time and trying to work out like where are you losing this like half second. And it's hard sometimes to even see where you're dropping it, because you think that's perfect, I've got it, I've dodged everything I need to do, and you're like, oh shit, there's 2 seconds. Like, where does that come from? And I'm looking for an air dash like shortcut round to like cut off a corner somewhere, or it feels very nice as a platformer goes. The moment to moment feel and that inertia that works well, and you still got that feel of him being a big old cube of meat that's slightly sticky and slides down the walls and doing that. It took me a little while to have a bit of muscle memory back in terms of how levels want you to play them. So it might be a case of 9 times out of 10, you've got a run button rather than normal speed movement, and you are keeping your finger firmly pressed on that just to keep that speed up all the time. And if you jump at a wall, you'll hit it a bit of inertia and you'll start to slide down. That felt more natural to me in a 2D environment than it did in the 3D, and it took me a while to get that back again and that feeling to feel right. So that's been a bit of a tough one to sort of get used to.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because we don't really get precision 3D platformers in the same way that is very much a like indie darling thing of like trying to chase that Meat Boy, that Celeste, that etc.
It very rarely works in 3D though, does it? Really, like precision platformers, you've got to be on the top of your game to sort of produce one that feels good, because even generally speaking, like even when you play action games and there's platforming elements, they're always a little bit hit and miss, and
for sure.
But I mean, obviously when it's designed to be that, it's going to have more of a focus on it. It's going to be better, but it seems very easy to get it wrong.
Well, it's the kind of genre you now associate with collectathons rather than precision platforming, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just a world to explore and use your abilities to find tucked away corners or things that are hard to reach. And that is here in the form of, like we said, there's bandages in each level to collect, that when you collect so many will unlock other characters for you to use, and each one will have their own specific traits. So that element is there, but the bulk of it is get your head down, run through, get through as quick as you can. And like you say, it is a hard thing to get right. And I guess for me, it's 90% of the way there.
Which
is
just
not quite hasn't got that magic that I had. Maybe some of it's just nostalgia as well for something that I spent so long with, and
maybe you're also just really old now, and that's making it harder.
I definitely is, like reaction times.
Yeah, reaction times are definitely an issue. Are you going to play this, Kieran? Is it your street now?
I have zero interest in this.
To be honest. It's not. I've not even played the first Super Meat Boy. I don't even know what any of it's about. I just know that he's a piece of meat on legs, and
bit of meat going to rescue his bandagey girlfriend from the evil Dr. Fetus.
Was it an Xbox Live Arcade game, the original? Yeah. I think I played the trial of it, and it was like, I just knew.
Wasn't it like around the N plus and Fez and all that, like that sort of?
It's that era
where it was like bastard hard 2D platformers with just like the de rigueur. And I never played any of them. Not ever once was I ever intrigued by any of them. Not my sort of thing. But so even switching to 3D is not going to do the job for me.
No, It's for
Even
you.
the name I was going to say was actually it's SMB, so Super Meat Boy is the nod to Super Mario Brothers. So it's just the hard as fuck version of Mario, essentially.
For sure.
Yeah, see Super Mario Brothers 3. I play the death out of that. That's up my street. But yeah, not
just chuck in a bit more blood and a bit of frustration, mate, and you're there. Job done.
Blood and frustration. Lovely. Talking of blood and frustration, blood and frustration is a great link to Legacy of Kain Ascendance, which I've just had the pleasure of reviewing. I'm a big fan of Legacy of Kain. Legacy of Kain, even the first one, even Blood Omen, is in my. If I had to do a top 100 games, or even maybe a top 50 games, Blood Omen's in there. Soul Reaver's probably in my top 20.
Could I trouble you for the elevator pitch version? Because I know literally jack and shit about.
Yeah. So games. Legacy of Kain is about a vampire called Kain. In Blood Omen, you're like a rich nobleman, and he gets assassinated so that he can be brought back as a vampire. Like, it's all clandestine.
Okay.
But he gets assassinated to be brought back as a vampire, and basically you've got to kill these this circle of corrupted sorcerers to bring balance back to the world of Nosgoth. And at the end of it, at the end of Blood Omen, you get a choice where you can either save Nosgoth or damn it. And canonically, Kain damns it and becomes the bad guy. So in the consequent sequels, Kain is a villain. Like, you get to play him again in a couple of games. There's Blood Omen 2 and in Defiant, which I did reviewed the remastered version of a little while ago. You're Kain again. So that's the basic story. And then in the Soul Reaver games, you play as Raziel, who is a lieutenant of Kain, who has the audacity to evolve wings before Kain does.
Oh, what a bitch.
So Kain rips his wings off and executes him. And then, like 1,000 years later, Raziel is resurrected as this wraith who's like all in bits and pieces. And he puts a cape round his face and looks super cool. But
is he missing his bottom jaw or something?
Yeah, he's like a zombie vampire. And then you find out that after that, the kingdom just went to shit. So as Raziel, you go and you're against Kain. It's very, very well written. It's really it's famous for how well written it is. Like, it's really grandiose and operatic and over the top and a bit silly. But it had some of the best dialogue and voice delivery ever. Like, just go and watch any of the cutscenes where Raziel and Kain are sort of verbally sparring. It's just superb. Simon Templeman as Kain and Michael Bell as Raziel, two of the best voice performances bar none in the history of video games. I won't hear anything to the contrary. It's fantastic, and I love it. And I love the whole series. And there's some bad apples. Blood Omen 2 is not very good. Defiance wasn't great. Soul Reaver and Soul Reaver 2 were fantastic. And Blood Omen is just a top-down classic that I wish they would remaster. I wish they would go back and remaster Blood Omen. Just keep the audio, because it's fucking flawless. But just give us better graphics on top of what we already had, because it's really, really good. But fans of Legacy of Kain, of the series, I've been crying out for years now, years and years, for a sequel. Give us a sequel. Give us more of this world. Well, Michael Bell is like 82 now, or 87 or something. I'm not sure. Forgive me. He's in his 80s anyway. Simon Templeman's in his 70s. So these guys are like knocking on. Like, we're running out of time now to get performances out of them. And admittedly, they both come back for Ascendance, but they sound really tired. And it's still good, and it's great to hear them. And like, the only positive point I gave the game at all was that it's really good to hear these guys doing new material. But this material is bad compared to what we had before.
I mean, that's not giving me much hope when that's your high point. Yeah,
so Ascendance is basically, it's a legacy sequel. They've come along and they've gone, a new Legacy of Kain game. Everybody got a little bit excited for all of 5 minutes until we saw that it was a 2D platformer, which is no bad. A 2D adventure game, I'm into that. It's not a Metroidvania exactly, but it's it's in the ballpark, and I like that sort of game. It's pixel art, which nowadays pixel art can do some fucking tremendous things. Like, even what we talked about, replaced a few times on the pod, the pixel art in that is fucking spectacular.
Oh, it's ludicrous, isn't it?
And then there was a game a few years ago called The Last Faith, which I thought just took pixel art to just another level in like the atmosphere and stuff that it conjured. So I know what it can do. This does nothing with that. The Legacy of Kain Ascendance. It looks like a NES game, and like that's not a good thing. Like fair enough. You go back and you play Symphony of Night now, it's still a good game because Symphony of Night was always a good game. Yeah. And you don't mind that you're doing like a when you attack monsters. There's not a great deal of animation to it because there wasn't. That was the era. Nowadays, I want a bit of animation. I want a bit of something. I want a bit of joie de vivre. I want to look like the game is actually alive rather than just prodding at fucking vampires with swords until they fall over. There's nothing to this game at all to give it personality. It's piss poor. It doesn't even use the established canon. It uses canon. So there was a comic book or a graphic novel a little while ago called, I want to say The Dead Shall Rise, something like that. Anyway, right. Excuse me, sorry, I'm still not fully over the cold. Yeah, and basically it retconned the series, and it got, so there was a cool thing. Spoilers. There was a cool thing in Soul Reaver 2, or it might have been in Defiance. I can't remember which game it was revealed in, but basically, you find out in Soul Reaver that Kain's lieutenants, who he turned and made his sons, the first vampires that he turned and gave out the powers to, they were all former vampire hunters. That was Kain's like great insult. Like he took the people that were hunting him, and when he killed them, he turned them into his sons, and none of them knew because they don't remember your previous life. And there's a point in the Soul Reaver 2 or Defiance, I can't remember which, where Raziel because there's a lot of time shenanigans. Raziel goes back in time, and he has to kill his former self, which in the game was cool as fuck because you have a fight with, because previously, like Nobleman Raziel was an arsewipe, and so you have this fight and you kill him, and then that's where Kain comes in and resurrects him and turns him into the Raziel that you know, and it was really cool. And these comics kind of retconned that, like they changed a lot of this cool stuff. And basically they did it to give Raziel a sister, which makes no fucking sense to any of the world. And she's a complete, I hate the term Mary Sue, but she is that. Like she's immune to everything. She's almost invincible. She's super powerful. She's super intelligent. She don't need no man and all that shit. It's just, it's really, really irritating that they did this. And that's the storyline they've gone with Ascendance. They've taken that storyline and they've done it so that you could have, because look, I can't help sound like that guy, but you don't have to have a female protagonist in everything. You don't have to have that. You can have that if that's the story you've written, and if that's what the storyline is, or if that's what it calls for, that's the character. It doesn't matter. I've nothing against it, but you don't have to shoehorn it in. It would be like if you went and did a Tomb Raider game now and just forced a male protagonist in there so that, I don't know, you could meet some kind of fucking... It
would just feel weird at this point, wouldn't it?
It's just irritating. And this is what it's like. This character didn't exist. And there's female characters in Legacy of Kain. Not a great many, but there are some. And like they exist already. So you don't have to do this, but they did. So they've shoehorned this character into the lore who's just a pain in the arse. And she's really sassy. And I'll tell you how bad this is. Within the first half an hour, there's a bit where you get the ability to fly, and you can fucking jab A so that she flies across a gap. And it's really clumsy and awkward and rarely works. But you do it, and one of the knights who are trying to kill you, one of the knights who are like currently like medieval knight, literally says, "They fly now," and it's a fucking Star Wars reference.
Oh man!
And I was just like, "What are you doing? Like we've come from fucking and thus defy the tyrannous stars to this shit. This is how far we've fallen now." And it just doesn't need to happen. And it's a really embarrassing, really awkward and really subpar thing to do to this franchise. Like,
is it just cashing in on the name?
I don't even know if it's I guess it's cashing in. I guess they've gone, let's use a character from the comic book because that's the most recent. So it's basically they've gone, right, let's take this property that is really, really, really popular among people who played these games 15 to 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. But instead of making a game for them, let's assume that everybody bought and read this shit comic book we put out 10 years ago. We'll make a game for them instead. And it's like, what are you doing? One, nobody likes your fucking comic book. Two, the people who would pay you most for this game just want another Legacy of Kain game. If you're going to do that, just put a coat of paint on Blood Omen and re-release that. That will sell cobs.
Yeah.
Soul Reaver and Soul Reaver 2 that they did a little while ago, those remasters, they did really well enough for them to do Defiance, which they didn't do a very good job of, but they did a great job with Soul Reaver and Soul Reaver 2, and they're fantastic games.
So it shows the market is still there for it then.
There's been
completely missed it.
There's been 2 abandoned sequels that they've done, and they released. So on, I think Defiance has got the first level of one in the remaster, and there was another one. There was one, I think it was like Black Sun or Dark Sun, I think, and there was another one, and they both got like so far into development and then cancelled for some reason. Like Crystal Dynamics don't like money, and they just cancelled them, and like admittedly they both look quite bad. Like neither of them looked particularly good. Didn't look like, and I think that's probably why they were cancelled, because I just don't think they know what to do anymore. But also, like, sometimes things can just die. I know that's funny to say about a vampire game, but sometimes things can just be allowed to exist. And here's some sequels, and here's the end, the canonical end of the story, and then we walk away and leave it. And we don't have to go back and redo it. Let's just put a coat of paint on the old games and remaster them and let you have that again. You don't always have to drag out a Legacy sequel and go, oh, you know, because this game could have been anything. It could have been any game, but it's a Legacy of Kain game.
Yeah.
And it's just bad. And I'm obviously speaking from the position where I am a fan of the franchise, so it annoyed me. But it's like the flashback thing. We had this discussion before. Just let it die. Just don't resurrect something just to piss all over it in the public square and then kick it back into its grave. There's no point. What are you doing? Just leave it alone. And you've
now got these 2 beloved voice actors who are leaving this as their legacy.
Exactly. This is like, because, you know, Simon Templeman and Michael Bell are people, and this is the weirdest thing as well. They're like massively famous, or they were massively famous for the work they did on this franchise.
Right.
But since then, they've just been like the third guy from the left, or like the bad guy in something that, do you know what I mean? They've never been like, you know, you've got like your Troy Bakers and your Nolan Norths and Steve Blums,
all the big
that
names.
are like, and Laura Fraser, and like these voice actresses who are just fucking like done really, really, really well. And these guys just kind of didn't, but people know they are because of these games that are 20 years old now. And then this is what you're sort of bringing them back out of retirement for, you know. It's just like, get in the booth and read this shit in your best Raziel voice. And it's just like such a shame. It's just a shame.
Oh, right.
And it did make me think, it has made me think this week about Legacy sequels in general. Because we've seen it. I don't know off the top of our heads, because I've not prepared anything, but off the top of our heads, can anyone think of a Legacy sequel that's just been really fucking really good? Do you know what I mean?
I've got some. Well, you guys were talking about those seemingly awful games. I was doing some research.
Yeah. Good man. Glad you're here.
Kieran has no idea what's been happening for the past 10 minutes.
The one that I thought about earlier, when we were talking about it, was Psychonauts 2.
I also had that as mine, yes.
See, I've never played either of those games. For just something that's passed me by for no reason. I've never been averse to them. I just have never, ever played either of them.
I kind of think you'd weirdly love Psychonauts, despite the fact they don't seem like the most Mick games in the world, being, you know, 3D platformers, basically. But
they're really good.
They are chock full of fucking narrative, though.
That's the best. I wouldn't play them if they didn't have the narrative. I need something to make me collect the shit. I don't care about collecting stuff.
Just collect the shit.
I don't
Shiny
care about
things, man.
I
Just
don't
go
care
grab
about the
them.
number going up. I need to know why he needs it, why he wants all these bits of.
Yeah, I'm with you for most of that. I need something. I need some narrative, something to hang on to.
And it's just got that. It's got that double fine fucking magic of like the most outlandish, ridiculous characters, and then you are by nature of the very game, diving into their brains and just seeing all the fucked up shit that they have. Like the original game, the first game was like, it had what I would have called the most magic and amazing level in any game ever, in the Milkman level.
I thought you were going to say the Milkman one.
Where you just go into this guy's brain who thinks he is a milkman, and it sort of like becomes this weird like detective game where you're trying to figure out everything to do with this guy's brain that is just so wrong and so weird.
He thinks he's a milkman.
Yeah, he says, "I am the milkman, my milk is delicious," and then he's spreading his milk everywhere, and it's like poison milk. I think it's been a long time, but like it's this whole like murder mystery crime fucking thing that you're trying to solve as the spy in someone's brain with all these different there's so much to it, and it's so cool, and I want to play that now. And Psychonauts 2 did basically the exact same thing again, pretty much, but like in a modern environment and new, and like had just like fucking. There's a level where you go into like a musician's brain and have to like put a band together, and all like it's just such cool, like clever stuff that just constantly evolves and grows. And yeah, I think that's one of the best legacy sequels I can imagine. And that was a long fucking time coming. It was original Psychonauts was like 2007, maybe something like that.
I did have it here. Hang on. It was 2005, and then the sequel was 2021.
So yeah,
That's a
actually
hell of a
longer than Meat Boy.
And it was a direct continuation, wasn't it? It was like it basically picked up as the not exactly as the first one ended, but not far.
Pretty much. It was like first game was like you were this kid who wanted to become a psychic spy guy, and then you basically are in the sequel.
I'll add it to the list.
I've got a few others I can rattle through.
Yeah. By all means.
What you got?
We've got a 12-year gap between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that felt like one where that was a long fucking time coming, wasn't it? Like Diablo 2 was this game that was very beloved. I must have first played Diablo 2 when it was already like a few years old. I think I got it as like when you go to like the old PC game section and it'd be like 2 for a fucking tenner of random things, and I don't know why I
Hospital.
Theme Hospital. Probably got Theme Hospital and fucking Diablo 2 and was like, oh, this is the best day of my life.
See, I any Diablo game. I'm a very big Diablo fan. And like, I know people love to hate Blizzard and they love to hate on Diablo. I mean, the game still has, quite a decent player count, especially around like new season starts and things, because it's basically live service now. But you can put any Diablo game on, go back to Diablo 1 or 2, 3, whatever, and if I play half an hour of it, I'll play 3 hours of it. It's just like,
yeah.
And like, I love Diablo 3. And it gets a lot of stick because most people now will just tell you they only like Diablo 2. It's really fucking tiring. Like Diablo 2 is really good, and the remaster they did a couple of years ago was also really good. But it also still feels of its time, and it does. To me, it feels kind of limited now playing it, because I like the freeform nature that they gave you in like 3 and 4, where like 3's got all the bounties to go back and redo, and that's the sort of grind I can get into. And then 4, I just love Diablo 4, and I do like Diablo 2. But yeah, 3's got a weird reputation as being like, everyone will tell you that Diablo 3 is the worst of the lot and stuff, and that's fine if people have opinions, but I don't think there's that much of a difference in quality across that series. Like for me personally, I think they're all brilliant games. I'll play all of them. I own all of them on multiple platforms, or whatever you can get them on. Mm-hmm. And like, I don't know, I think Diablo 3 was a long time coming, that sequel. But then again, I think Diablo 4 was like 2021, was Diablo 4 now much older than I think it was?
No, I think it was. It's more recent than that.
It wasn't that long ago, was it?
The 2023.
Yeah.
23 was it?
I think.
Yeah. So I mean, you had another sort of 11 years on top of Diablo 2. But I know Diablo 3. But Diablo 3 kind of went live service as well, because it started doing the seasonal model thing, which keeps games going. But yeah, I really like Diablo. like all those games.
Yeah. So good legacy sequels every time.
Yeah. Still on, I guess, on the topic of going from 2 to 3, Kingdom Hearts 2 to Kingdom Hearts 3, 14 years between those.
Oh yeah, but there's like
it sounds
20
like your time to shine.
games in the middle.
Well, yeah, you had. That's the thing. You had all the they're not really spin-offs, are they? They sort of class them as spin-offs, but if you don't play them, you're not going to know what. I mean, if you do play them, you're not going to know what's going on. That story doesn't make sense. You can play everything and watch a fucking video explaining it, and it still won't make sense.
Yeah, but I love them anyway. And
I like them. I just like seeing the Disney stuff, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just very cleverly done. God, the amount of games between those two though really must be like it's at least like 6 main ones, and then like a good few remasters of them that add a little bits of extra things, like 2.8.
I was about to say 2.8. Before 3, you got 2.8 because
is that just a remix of previous then? Yeah.
No. Yes, that's a separate. 2.8 is like a separate thing, isn't it?
It's so there's the first game, and then there was 1.5, which added in like a better version of a Game Boy Advance game that was a PS2 port that never came to Europe. And then there was 2, and then 2.5 added, I think, a PSP game, but remastered with it, or something like that.
It was basically compilations of like all the stuff in between, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then 2.8 was like, I think
Final
it was another
prologue,
remaster and another prologue. And I don't know.
I'm sure it was Final Chapter Prologue because it just, I remember the name making me laugh. Like all the names doing that series.
Yes. Amazing.
That was really true. Was it Dream Drop Distance was one of them?
That's
just to get the 3DS thing going on.
Yeah. But there was also 365 over 2 days or whatever it was. That was a DS game.
There's that one. There's one on. I think it might be the mobile one where I don't know how you write the symbol that's in the name. Because you need to.
I can't. I don't know how to say.
Also, trying to Google it's a fucking nightmare.
I think it's like a little X, but it's like a mathematical X. I don't know how. I don't know what you do on a keyboard or on a phone to actually get it on the screen.
Yeah, you find that written somewhere.
Yeah,
copy it.
You can only access it if you use a graphic calculator, I've heard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I reckon the devs have just got a page with just weird symbols on it that they say from like Windings and stuff. They just whack that in to fuck people up.
Shenmue 2 to Shenmue 3. Did anyone play those games?
No. I tried to play Shenmue 3 because I thought I'll see what the fuss was about. I obviously hadn't played the others, but everyone talked about that game with like such reverence.
Yeah,
it's just fucking shite. And then I played like Shenmue 3, and I was just like, "What on earth is this? Is this what?" And people were like, "No, that's just Shenmue," and I was like, "Well, then it's shit."
Sorry, everyone who likes that series.
Sorry,
all 12 of you.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 2 to Baldur's Gate 3, 23 years. That's a hell of a sequel to follow up with.
Have you just got a list of shit I've not played?
Yeah.
Well, probably.
Apparently you don't play the long sequels.
No, don't do the long sequel game.
You'll have played some of these. 12 years between Dead Island 1 and 2.
Yeah.
That was
2 games that sort of exist.
Good trailers.
Yeah, they do good trailers, to be fair. 9 years between Crackdown 2 and 3. That was a downgrade.
That was a downgrade. Well, no, Crackdown 2 wasn't great. Crackdown 1 had some... Crackdown 1 had agility orbs. That's what Crackdown 1 had.
Mm-hmm.
That was all anyone cared about.
That was important. That was all you needed.
And they were in 2 and 3, but it lost...
2 had a wingsuit, which is why I like it. But then 3... I remember 3, they sold it on Terry Crews, and then he dies within the first...
He dies at the beginning, and he's just like the tutorial guy when you try and do challenges. It's like, they just...
I think I remember 2 being like there was so much action going on that it was distracting from the orb hunting, and that's why I didn't click with it. I was like, I just want to go find that glow.
Pacifist mode, turn off all the enemies.
Fuck this, I'm just off to grab the glowy things.
Alan Wake 1 to 2. That was 13 years.
That's a big one.
That's a good one.
I appreciate that. I think replaying the first Alan Wake, because I really loved that when I first played it. And a couple of times when I replayed it, I was like, this does feel a bit of the time, and it's quite slow, and there's not really enough to it. Like just shining your light on shadows over and over again for fucking ever. Alan Wake 2 had quite a lot more to it in a ridiculous amount of ways, like musicals.
How about Duke Nukem Forever 14 years.
I knew that was coming.
14 years well spent, guys. No.
I didn't hate Duke Nukem.
No, me neither. In fact, we are a weirdly pro Duke Nukem.
Yeah. Now, I won't argue ever that it's a good game. Like, I wouldn't ever try and convince anybody that Duke Nukem Forever was a good game. Objectively, it's not a good game. But I didn't hate it. Like, I played it and I was like, it's all right. Like,
I played through it twice.
Yeah, like it's really crude and misogynistic, and it's got it feels like a game that took fucking 14 years to make, because it's kind of like it's of no time, and yet it's not modern. It just felt really fucking weirdly hammered together. Like they just, that's good. Where can we fit that mechanic that's now popular 6 years down the line?
Should we have an RC car in it now?
Yeah.
Was there a vehicle in it? I'm sure I remember.
Yeah, it's like an RC car or something.
Yeah. And it's
like weird platforming with or something.
And it's kind of like, I mean, it's offensive, but Duke Nukem was always offensive. And then I didn't hate it. Because I remember playing it and waiting to hate it. And like, there's games I've played that I really fucking detest, and I was waiting to hate it.
Of Kain.
Yeah, I was waiting to hate this, and I didn't. I was just like, this is all right. And I got to the end, and I was like, well, that was an experience.
Yeah. Did you have a lot of love for the original, Meg?
I did not really. Like, again, no. Duke Nukem and Serious Sam were those sort of shooters that I just used to play because they were there, and if you know what I mean, like they just
that's all we had.
Came with the computer.
And like I remember, like one of the Duke Nukem 3D or something, it had like pixelated boobs in it and the pig cops, and it had a really, really good theme song by like Stabbing Westwood that I just used to like play the intro over and over again because it had a really good song called The Thing I Hate by Stabbing Westwood. It's just come back to me now. I'm gonna have to go and get that song on Spotify. But yeah, so and I think it's a bit like Juke Joint Jezebel. Remember that song from the Bad Boys soundtrack?
No.
Juke Joint Jezebel. You know if you heard it.
Might come back to me.
We might get it in like the second minute, you know.
But yeah, I don't want to get copyright struck. But no, we
because it was such an amazing rendition as well. It's perfect.
But no, Duke Nukem. I played a lot of them, but I was never a fan of Duke Nukem. Like he's just one of those characters that is kind of everyone sort of knows.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's just a. He's for
some reason one of those really iconic characters, despite the fact that no one really thinks his games are amazing.
Yeah, kind of eponymous, but there's not many people that would be like, the Duke Nukem games are my favourite games ever, especially not nowadays. Because
mate, you know there is one guy out there who is that guy.
Oh, he's probably got the hair and everything.
Yeah, definitely.
One of my friends, I can't remember. He wrote for a video game that it was a spin-off of Duke Nukem. He wrote like part of the story for it, and he got the guy who does Duke Nukem's voice to do his voicemail message. I don't know if he's like 10, 15 years ago now.
What a claim!
I don't know if he's still got it. But yeah, when you think about it,
now because you get AI to do it.
Well, yeah. But who's going to get that reference when they call you and go through to your voicemail?
That would be really interesting. Just so like you're getting someone trying to catch you up on your bill from the water company.
It's funny because I still say. When my kids are messing about, I still say, shut your hole. Which is from one of the old Duke Nukem games, and I still say
that. I've got a couple here that I'm just curious what everyone thinks of. Mass Effect Andromeda. Not as big a wait between, it's only 5 years, but if you think what the end of that series was like, or the end of the trilogy was like, and then I didn't
massively hate Andromeda. It wasn't the thing about Mass Effect. The original trilogy was kind of, I want to say lightning in a bottle because they did 3 good. But how often do you really get 3 games that are solid quality wise? Like because all 3 of those games are solid. So like, and I guess you could say the same about Uncharted. Uncharted series hasn't really got a bad game as far as I'm concerned. But Mass Effect was like, you're never going to follow that with another team, and it's not the same people involved, and you're going for the same thing but you're trying to do it differently. Because the reason it worked is because they did that thing and they did it all correctly. So when you try and do it the same thing again but change all the details, it's not going to have the same.
And expectations are going to be so high as well.
Because it's like if you bake a really, really good cake, and when you make it again, you do exactly the same thing. If you start putting different stuff in it to try and make it different and subvert expectations, you end up with a poor quality cake. And this is what happened with Mass Effect Andromeda. It's a poor quality cake, but it's still a cake.
We swapped the sugar for salt, and we're like, well, probably be all right.
Some bastards put currants in it. Oh, fucking really?
But in a pinch, when it's 3:00 in the morning and I'm craving cake,
it'll do.
I'm going to eat that cake.
I'll eat the currants. It's fine.
Similarly, then
that's got to be the weirdest thing I've ever heard Mick compare a game to.
Yeah, I really liked it though. It's a very good, very fucking weird comparison.
Next time we get one, but it's one of those cakes. Yeah, we know about those.
Is the same true about Dragon Age Veilguard, which I will still insist is a very good game and I love it.
See, I'm stuck on Veilguard in some ways. I really liked the game. I didn't like some of the story stuff. And yes,
some of the writing was bad.
And yes, I didn't like the way they handled the trans stuff in that. And I got no right to have an opinion on it. I'm not a trans person. And I get that it's good to have that sort of stuff to relate to. And so I don't want to offend people. But I felt it was a clumsy way of doing it.
Yeah.
Like I felt that the way that game did it felt kind of clumsy in that it was kind of all just felt a little bit out of place in the setting. Like if you did that in a Mass Effect or something, I don't think I'd have batted an eyelid. I wouldn't have noticed, so to speak. But because of the way they did it in Veilguard, it did feel a little bit like, do you know what I mean? Why are we having a discussion about being non-binary in a fantasy game where you can just cast a spell and be somebody else? Like this wouldn't be a thing, and it didn't feel like it would be a thing. But then also it's a game about dragons and trolls and shit, so do whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't think it certainly didn't affect the story negatively. It didn't enter my review. It didn't make me think, I'm going to score this less because they've forced a message into it. Like none of that shit. But it did feel a little bit kind of a bit like in something like Detroit Become Human, where it's just got a clumsy race allegory for the robots when you could have done anything else. It's that sort of thing again. It's like you've just done this because you want to draw attention to it, and that's fine, but there's cleverer ways or more subtle ways, I think, of doing it, which is what was my problem with Veilguard. But the actual game, I thought it was fine. I thought it just felt like a Dragon Age game. Yeah,
I was the same. I really liked it. I think it's just a really good game. Like the combat's really good. The story's good. I think I agree that the message was good with that stuff. I think it was the delivery that was perhaps not as good as it should have been.
Yeah,
I'm for inclusivity in every fucking thing. Like I got no problem. You put anything in anything that includes more people and doesn't make people feel alienated for anything. I mean, I'm not going to say put a Nazi level in something so that the Nazis feel good about themselves, but like, you know, like most things, I
hate when they fucking shoehorn the Nazis in.
Bullshit. Sorry, Mum and Dad, I'm a Nazi. Well, you know, that's catered to another demographic there. But no, I think there's just better ways of doing some things sometimes.
Yeah, no, I agree. Then just a couple of, without wanting to go on for too long, just a couple of little ones. There's one for you here, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5.
Which hasn't been touched with a barge pole in my life.
Have you not played it?
No.
I thought you would have at least been like morbidly curious.
No, because that was a while ago as well, wasn't it? That was back end of 360.
2015, so 13 years after the previous ones.
Wow. Yeah, I remember it being about at the time and sort of seeing, just thinking, nah, I'll keep my memories whole as they are, thanks, rather than ruining them.
There was a bad time for that series that spanned quite a while.
Oh God, yeah! When you brought out a big plastic skateboard,
I was going to say, is that the one with the skateboard? With the
I mean, it's one of those things I'd love to have just kicking around the house, but I'm not playing that shit.
I kind of wanted to. Sorry,
you would actually kick it around the house.
Yeah, probably would.
Fuck off.
I'd just been allowed to actually flip it rather than actually playing a game.
Yeah.
Two more. Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, 8 years after the game before that.
Absolute banger.
That's a good one. That's a good follow-up, I think. I think
Yeah,
that's better than the original too.
Love that game, man. I mean, I like that whole series anyway. It was a weird direction to take it in, but it was interesting, and the stuff you could do to sort of break that game and play around with it was marvelous, man. It was ace.
Yeah,
I think it's a worthy sort of continuation of the series for sure.
Yeah, it was a really cool game that I definitely didn't enjoy as much as like the collecty platformers, because that was like my jam and very much my childhood playing those games. But it was like you couldn't deny that it was doing something interesting. So like I'm never going to fucking complain about that. You know, like you could have. It's better than them trying to do the same thing again and doing it horrifically, which was probably the other option.
Yeah, they just took a different tack with it and ended up with something new and fresh that maybe people didn't know they wanted. But I think most people who are actually giving it a go really enjoy it. It's not a direct continuation of what that series was. I do remember there was a Klungo level where it was literally a side-on like running platform game where you just had to jump the gaps in time, and I spent an ungodly amount of time playing that. It was ridiculous. For such a simple thing, like, oh, here's this wonderful 3D world to explore. Fuck that. I'm just running around just jumping holes in 2D. Brilliant.
Yeah. You know, a legacy sequel or a long-awaited sequel that really, before Kieran does the last one, that really killed its franchise dead. Not to be negative, but like, do you remember Fear Effect? Does anyone remember Fear Effect?
Was that like a cell-shaded type thing?
Yeah, women, mangary looking thing on PS2.
Yeah. So Fear Effect 1 and 2 were pretty fucking brilliant. They were of their time. Yeah. The first Fear
Effect, they slightly horny as well.
Very horny. They were like they were both it had tank controls because it was from that era. So it was like an adventure game. There was some combat in it. There was like some not point and clicky stuff, but there was a find this to activate that sort of going on. It wasn't Resident Evil-y, but it was kind of that era, like Parasite Eve. Yeah. Like I said, it was tank controls. It was like based on like Chinese horror, and you were like three. You played three mercenaries. It was like Hannah, who was the horny one, and then you had like an Australian guy and an American guy, and these mercenaries, and it was like they'd been given a job to like rescue some Chinese diplomat's daughter or something. I can't honestly remember fully now because it was like 96 or something when Fear Effect came out. Then there was a sequel that introduced a second horny chick called Rain, who was somehow even hornier. There's even like a fucking little lesbian scene in an elevator, and they were like. I
knew there was a reason I remembered it.
They were, yeah, but they were also really good. Like they were both really good games. Like they're great stories, really good voice performances from like all the cast. Worked really well. And again, it was one of those things where like a lot of people wanted another Fear Effect, or they wanted a remaster of the original Fear Effect, or like it would work really well now for like a remake. Like if you took like a Resident Evil style remake of like that game with that storyline, obviously they dial down like the horniness and stuff nowadays because it was a bit 90s cringe, but like that, it was really, really good. And then they did a little while later, they released something called Fear Effect Sedna, which was like a prequel, and because all the characters, like I think two of the characters died in Fear Effect, so like the second game was like a prequel because like characters had died.
They're already gone.
So they went back, and then I think Sedna was another prequel again, and they turned it into like an isometric tactical shooter, and it was just really badly executed and had none of that like really cheesy like 90s action horror stuff that the other games did. But yeah, I don't know what reminded me of that. Maybe just because
they've tried to bring it into the modern era instead, just kick the arse out of it.
Yeah, and it was just like you didn't need to do that. You could have just give us that again, but modern. Like you can do like you look at what they've done now with. For me, there's no excuse now to not remake every tank control action game from the 90s. Like what Capcom have shown is possible, that you can take a game like Resident Evil 2 and you can, or Resident Evil, well, not so much 4 because 4 was over the shoulder, but Resident Evil 2, that was very much of its time, awkward camera angles and the tank controls and the clunkiness that it had. And you can turn that into something as good as Resident Evil 2 remake. Like, I would happily let the games in. Not saying let the games. I would be happy for the games industry in general to do that with everything from the 90s. I have no babies. Like, I have no 90s darlings that shouldn't be touched. Fucking remake everything with with modern graphics and modern mechanics, but keep the soul and the story and the most of the dialogue, all that sort of stuff like they did with the Resi game. That for me is like the bar for remakes. Just do
at that point, half the work's already done for you, isn't it? You're not having to rewrite. You're taking a beloved story and just giving it a lovely fresh coat of paint and some nice quality of life details.
Yeah.
Feels like an easy win.
And I'm not precious about
it. Do it now for Buck Bumble, and we'll all be happy. And that's the game of the year.
So by all you mean you?
Yeah, definitely. I promise I'd make it my game of the year. I don't care. I promise.
We've got one more on the list. It's a spiritual sequel, and it's one that I played and I did not like anywhere near as much as I liked the game before. But it's The Last Guardian, which was, I don't know if anyone remembers. I think that was supposed to be a PS2 game originally, and then it got dragged onto the PS3.
Forever, wasn't it?
Sequel to?
It's like a spiritual sequel to Shadow of the Colossus.
Shadow of the Colossus.
And
Ico as well.
Yeah.
It was one of those things I remember waiting for ages, and it looked lovely, and then being frustrated as hell with what's the name of the fucking dog?
He's called Trico.
Oh, is it Trico? Yeah,
you got like a big giant
catbird.
Yeah,
catbird dog thing, man. Yeah. And
he's an arsehole. He's an arsehole the entire time.
Yeah, and it was there to represent like, this is a real animal. It won't always react to what you want. In actuality, it just pissed you off. You're like, I just want to finish this puzzle.
He wants that in a game.
In the mood. No, we're not doing it then. Yeah.
He wants a game where the characters can just choose to do whatever.
It's so frustrating, man.
Yeah, I don't think I'd fancy that. I haven't got the nostalgia for like Eco, and I played Shadow of Colossus when it was re-released, and it's fantastic.
Oh, it's great.
Don't get me wrong, but I didn't have the nostalgia for the original release. So I didn't play it. I never played Eco or Ico. I always said Eco. So this never got me. So I just never bothered with it. And then I heard down the line that it was quite frustrating. So I was like, I don't really fancy that.
Yeah,
I'm happy to have experienced it just for the fact that it was a continuation of that legacy. But
we should definitely do an episode at some point where we could talk about AI companions in games, best and worst, because there's some shockers.
Ashley from Resident Evil.
Yeah. In fact, most of them are Resident Evil.
Well, yeah.
Episode on rating the Resident Evil.
Another ranking episode. Let's go.
Yeah. But yeah, there's some. I guess there's some.
I have stuff. I also have to say, Pokemon Snap and New Pokemon Snap was, perfect.
Oh yeah,
equal.
Got to stay on brand, mate.
So what? There was a Pokemon Snap, and then was a game called New Pokemon Snap, or it's just Pokemon Snap again?
Just called New Pokemon Snap. It was one of those weird things they do where sometimes, if it is a Nintendo exclusive and you make a new version of a game, you call it new.
Or a console. They did it with a 3DS, the new Nintendo 3DS. I hate that. I find it so fucking.
They did it with Super Mario, didn't they? New Super Mario Brothers. And...
Super Mario Brothers, which was
I don't mind that. I think that's that's like oddly endearing for Nintendo to do that. No one else does that.
As if they missed out calling it the Wii New. We missed opportunity right there.
But then no one's going to do like this year. We're releasing new Resident Evil because it's not Resident Evil 10. It's just new Resident Evil.
I would love if someone copied Nintendo like that, and it was someone that all the people would be so frustrated about. Definitely, Resident Evil, I think, is the best option. But I'm sure, just something to really piss people off. Anyway, had to bring up Pokemon because Pokemon Champions is out now, and
this is your bid for world domination, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, I am currently trying to do that, and I'm doing vaguely okay. In the low ranks.
So how's this? So how does this work? Is there a date when this all ends, or you just keep going until there's one person left? However long
there are different seasons and stuff essentially. Right. And there are tournaments throughout and stuff like that. And I am currently trying to be Mr. Competitive Pokemon, and I'll have a review about Pokemon Champions talking about how well or not well that goes. And at some point, I have to battle Kieran, who will beat me, unfortunately.
Are you playing it as well, Kieran?
No, I'm just going to rock in with I'm going to do the equivalent of the Pokemon equivalent of button mashing and going with the default team and just spam tackle until Lyle's team is dead.
Just spam sweep. Over and over again. I know it works.
The plan.
How do you actually get Pokemon into it? Because like,
don't tell him.
You're right.
It's a chance for an advantage, Lyle.
He'll be able to do it. He'll be able to, read my review or something. I can't help this. And the people must know. So basically, you get given a team at the start of the game that is just like, yes, a default team.
yes.
How you get Pokemon is every day. Well, actually, every 22 hours, which is weirdly not a day, and I don't know why they've decided on that. But every 22 hours, you can recruit a Pokemon where you basically get given a selection of 10, and you can keep it for a week or use a currency to keep it forever. But like, I basically have been playing it as if it's free to play for almost the entire time I've been playing it, other than like about an hour ago I put some codes in. And like, it gives you so much stuff to be able to make that work. And alongside that, you can also get Pokemon from your other Pokemon games, pretty much the vast majority of the modern ones and some of the like remade ones, like when they did the Fire Red and Leaf Green a few weeks ago, something like that. And you can put those Pokemon into Pokemon Home, where you can store your Pokemon with either a membership fee or like a small amount, and then you can move them from there into the other game. So there's like quite a lot of ways to get Pokemon into it, and yeah, it's really good so far. I really like it. I'm actually doing competitive things, and Kieran, you won't stop me.
I've just decided this instant that I'm going to role play as one of those like kids in the forest in Pokemon that just shows up with like 2 Weedles, and that's like the entirety of my team.
You actually cannot do that, unfortunately, because there are only fully evolved Pokemon in the game. So you can't have unevolved Pokemon. So you have to have them being at their very best, like no one ever was.
Well, I'll pick 6 shit ones then.
Okay, that's fine. I'm fine. I mean, I personally, in this situation where you're going to come to beat me with button mashing, I'm fine with you bringing the worst Pokemon. That would be great. Thank you.
You never just pick 6 at random, like a lucky dip, and you just sail through it, and then you've got, because you see that happens sometimes. People just have a story where it's like, so have you been playing? No, I don't even play. Well, what made you pick that? I just picked 6 at random. And what tactics? I didn't use any tactics. I just did like
just press.
I wasn't even watching it most of the time.
Yeah,
I just hit a button.
I just pressed button. It's a piece of piss, and everybody likes it. Good luck to you, but it's not that hard. Yes.
Great. I can't wait for this. It's going to really put a dampener in my review. 3. It made me feel like shit.
Nice. Oh well. Good luck to Lyle.
Thank you.
I hope you do.
I look forward to more stories in the coming weeks.
Yeah, I hope you do really well. So is it something we can get updates on, presumably?
Yeah,
unless you crash out in season 1 or whatever. I don't know how it works.
I am planning to make it work for as long as I can. I really do want to actually be somewhat good at Pokemon. My main goal is to get, so for like the big world championship, you earn points through various like online tournaments and in-person tournaments, and I want to earn any points. So it's like it wouldn't mean that I'd need 1,000 or something to go to a world championship. I want to get 10 really luckily and be like, look, sort of earned something that could mean something.
I'm on the leaderboard. Just get on the board. Just get your name somewhere where people can see.
Mm-hmm. And my name on there is Lyle LLC, so I'll be getting the site on the board too.
See?
Promoting
it's for all of us. It's for all of us.
Yeah,
he's our hero. Site champion. Lyle, you'll always be a winner to us, Lyle. That's
amazing.
Always. Even if Pokemon is not my thing. Maybe I'll have a go. I'll just pick 6 random Pokemon and rock.
Mick's going to beat you as well.
I have to take on the entire site doing it at random.
We're like the Elite Four.
I'm not that person. I don't get that kind of luck. I would just lose. I'd pick 6 at random, and even if I picked 6 at random and somebody who knew what they were talking about went, fucking hell, that's a good 6 random Pokemons. I'd just lose straight away.
Just get.
I'll take one first then.
Yeah, I tend not to win. Yeah, I give you the confidence. I'm the one that they give. That goes in first and gives the other guy the confidence to keep going. I'm that guy. I'm the punch bag. I never win anything. I once won on a football. So I don't follow football. I could probably name 5 footballers, and I wouldn't even know if they were current right now. But like, I remember once my old place where I used to work, the guys were doing like a football, like a what's it called, where you just like pick
like a fancy football league.
No, like it was a
like a sweepstake.
Sort of, where you pick like who's going to win out of this game and who's going to win out of that game. It's like 6 things in a row. Accumulator. I don't even know. I don't even gamble. And they were like, "Oh, do you want in?" Because I was like in the group, and I was like, "Yeah, but I don't know anything about football." And they were like, "Well, just pick stuff at random." So I just did. I just went, "Well, tick, 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 tick," and then like we won, and we got like 750 quid each from like. And I was like, "That's the only time that has ever happened." Like ever. I don't have that sort of luck. I don't have movie luck where I can just be like, this has to happen. Do you know what I mean? You know, when like the it's the underdog long shot. Yeah, like I just will lose. Well,
mate, it's Grand National Week. Try out again this week. See how you get on.
Oh my god. It might be it. That can be the sequel to your movie moment of the accumulator.
No, because I've tried it since. I've tried it with random stuff and been like, let's get some of that random luck. Like, bang, lost. Bang, lost. I'll try again. Bang, lost. Then I'm like 50 quid down on something, and it's just like, now I'm spiraling. And this is why I just don't gamble, because it doesn't work. I can't do it. I don't have that sort of.
So this is the gambling awareness portion of the podcast.
Yeah, don't gamble, kids. It's bad for you. Unless you're gambling, unless you're betting on Lyle, because he's the safe bet.
Oh, God.
He's a surefire winner.
No, don't do it.
Everybody bet on Lyle. So with no pressure, but everyone back Lyle to win the World Championship of Pokemon. Not with cards either. Because there's still I presume there's like a separate thing where you can still go to World Poke. Because there's someone I know in the village, their son goes and plays Pokemon, like, not professionally, but like in proper tournaments and stuff. And I was looking at it.
There are different ways to play Pokemon professionally.
You should show up with some like actual animals. Like bring like a dog with like a something strapped to its back or something.
See, that'd be fun. Yeah, it's like if you strap a cat.
That guy got a hamster strapped to his arms.
Yeah. No, you strap the animals to each other. That's how you make Pokemon. So you would strap like a pot plant to the back of an Alsatian, and then like strap a guinea pig to a parrot, and like take these
to a mouse.
Yeah, just take these animals. Like you've got an electrified mouse. Just get like a badger and just like cover it in forks. Do you know what I mean? And then like take it, and then I feel like that would. I feel like
like you've thought about this before, Mick. The speed you came out with those.
I feel like that would be quite fun to just be like, I've got 6 random animals with like appliances stuck to them or whatever, and then they're just going to fight. That's essentially what Pokemon is. I'm not sure how
that real life experience will be how I win. If I can just do it with real animals, I'll be fine.
I don't know how you weaponize an elemental animal, like set fire to like a Pomeranian or something and then just unleash it on an arena. But I don't know. Obviously, that's not ethically sound.
No, but I mean, for a little while, it would be dangerous.
He would do some serious damage. Yeah, he'd do some serious damage for a little while, especially if you like sprinkle some, explosives or flammables around the arena.
Can I just say I don't condone this in any way, shape, or form, just for the record.
Yeah, we've veered from Pokemon battling into like terrorism, essentially.
Well, these things happen on the podcast.
That rabbit tied to a lawnmower that it's fighting. I don't know what's it. I think we have to stop. I think I'm dangerously tired. Veering into.
Did anyone hear that episode where Mick completely lost his mind? Yeah, it's pretty good. That
I want to go away and write down some of these Pokemon now, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave this train of thought in case I end up on some government database somewhere.
You're already there, mate. Don't worry.
Right, that's let's wrap it up there because that's gone weird.
We're not even at the bonus pod yet. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I'm already on it. No, the bonus pod's good. We're doing another round of most anticipated this week, so it's not going to be too. If we were doing a quiz or a 5 facts about Lyle episode, that it might veer into the unknown. But I think we'll be all right with this. But yeah, let's wrap it up there. Once again, this goes out on a Monday every week. Usually we've missed one now, which I'm not happy about, but we'll try not to let it happen again. So it goes out on a Monday. Bonus pod goes out on a Wednesday for the Patreons. If you're not a Patreon, I don't know, it's worth checking out. The recent pod that we put out on Spotify this week, or last week, shall I say, was actually a bonus episode, which I repackaged into a pod to sort of fill a gap because we hadn't recorded one, which was the Resident Evil protagonist ranking, which I thought was quite fun. So yeah, go listen to that. That's the sort of thing we do. But there's not really much rhyme or reason to the bonus pods. Sometimes it's a quiz, sometimes we'll rank stuff, sometimes we'll have a chat, sometimes we'll just talk exclusively about Lyle for an hour. Sometimes we'll do a most anticipated list, which we're going to do in a minute. So
it's whatever weird shit we feel like that week, essentially.
Yeah,
so it's always a bit of...
very much depends on who has the time and can be bothered doing something.
Yes, yeah. But it's always very high quality and well put together. So
never in doubt.
Yeah. So go check it out if you like. But if you don't, just, I don't know, a like and a subscribe. It goes a long way. Makes us feel good about ourselves, if nothing else. But in the meantime, I've been Mick Fraser. He's been Kieran Singh. He's been Steve Chambers. And he's been Lyle Pendle. And you guys have been lovely. Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye.